Another Friday, almost halfway through November already, and it's Friday the 13th. Of course, there's a Friday the 13th in 2020 after everything that's gone on. But fingers crossed it's been an okay one for everyone. We know it's certainly been a good one in the housing market, and certainly with the volumes of sales and lets, it's been unbelievable. So it's definitely not all doom and gloom, but we'll sort of come on to that later, guys. First, obviously, as you can see, you want to have a chat with Howard. There's only him and myself again because Matthew is still away. We've given him 2 Fridays off. I cannot believe we've done that, but we've allowed him that time off.
Where's he actually going? I mean, you can't go anywhere, so what's he doing?
I think he's gone from his lounge to his dining room or something like that. That's probably what he's...
I mean, honestly, you can't go anywhere,
no,
can you? I
mean, he's having work done at his house, basically. So I'm sure he will update everyone next week. I'm sure it'll be interesting. But he's been having some work done at his house.
An in-depth review of what he's been doing.
Yes, and it hasn't been going very well. Let's just say that.
Oh, bloody hell. No. Right. All right. Well, I'd say that. I was going to say, because people say, don't they, oh, have a good weekend. What are you doing this weekend? I was thinking of having a quiet one, just stopping in, to be honest. I think, we were going to mention anyway, there's not much difference, is there? This last lockdown, it's nowhere near as severe, is it? Let's be honest. It's the pubs are shut.
Yeah.
Apart from that, and a few shops, but really, it's the pubs are shut. You can't get your hair cut. I mean, I've got mine in ponytails this week now because, you can't go get your hair cut or whatever. Saying that though, I had to go for a sports massage last night on my back because I could hardly move. It's sitting down all the time in this chair, not getting away from the phone. But there's not much, is there? It's not affected the property market.
I think that's one thing. It's what we wanted to talk about, didn't we? So we came on last week and we didn't really know what was going to happen. We were 2 days into it last week, and October had been brilliant, and so the last few months. And last week was noticeably quieter. And I think everyone was quite rightly apprehensive about what it was going to be like again. But I think the conversations that we've had with people is that it's not really affected people that much at all. I don't think. I think people have got in a bit of a routine of going out for walks and not really going to the pub because it wasn't as freely to do that or anything like as last time or earlier in the year, was it? So I don't think it's been quite as bad. Certainly, people we've spoken to, we've tried to reach out to as many people as possible and talk to as many people as possible and try and find out and make sure everyone's sort of all right. And if we can offer any help whatsoever, then we want people to know that we're here to be able to do that. But I think it's been good, hasn't it? What's it been like for you down there in Preston?
Yeah, I'm not that far away, but you're right. I mean, myself personally, I'll tell you what. I mean, I've been really busy this week, extremely busy, probably busier than what I've been for a long time. And it's no kidology to try and kind of one that we're busy, but it's just been busier in terms of people want to go view properties, people got queries, people just asking what effect it's had, is anything going to affect the valuation of their property and so forth. And I've actually spent quite a bit of this week talking to people that have bought of us previously and they've been in the house 6 months, a year, a couple of. So it has been busy, but I've just found it's like the viewings, people still want to get out and they're still doing the viewings, and obviously when we're going out there, we're using the guidelines that we're given to give people 2 meters space, to wear masks if applicable, and I think people have been conducting themselves correctly, and but it hasn't stopped people coming out to go and view. I've just have a house on the market locally to where I am, and it's been on the market less than 10 days, and to really back up what you said, really. So that first week, so last week, it came on the market. I had a couple of viewings on it, and I think maybe people are apprehensive because of that lockdown first week in November. But this week, it's just gone, and over the weekend, just gone. It went crazy with people wanting to view it. That's sold without telling anyone the address. That's sold for the asking price, and there was 2 or 3 people wanting it. So. Back to what we keep on saying, the demand's there. There's a lack of supply, which actually brings me on to one of my props now, which I'll put up on the email so I can see it. So I've got an assistant here that she helps me and keeps me updated with anything that's happening. Right, so planning submitted for new homes. You have to excuse me as I'm reading this, trying to read it. Planning submitted for new homes in Bartle. So it looks like there's going to be another new residential development coming to Preston in the Bartle area. So Bartle is north, really off Ford, that area, Cotton, Bartle, and you're going out that way. So it used to be all fields and everything, and over the last probably 5-6 years, the fields have diminished, and what used to be like a little village, like Woodpumpton, Bartle, that area, now it's one continuous way of houses. So it looks like they're going to be building another one here, which is, when I can find that it's near the people out there, it's the agricultural side of it, okay, near Adamson's farm on Rosemary Lane. I've sold a few houses on Rosemary Lane a few years ago, through different means. So that's what bit of information. There's another little bit of information as well on Barmont houses. Is in Bamber Bridge, right, it was advertised that there's no way through for this build. So basically, these builders are called Doorbest Homes, something such as that, and they were planning to build 11 properties on a plot of land, which is, for people who know that area, it's off Cottage Gardens in Bamber Bridge, and they all got approved by South Ribble Borough Council.
Yeah.
To build 11 properties on there. Now he's been knocked back. Well, not from building them, but he's been knocked back because there's 44 protected trees in a cul-de-sac. So when people buy these plots of land, there's normally like a ransom strip which they would give you entrance into the properties. Now the authorities have stopped it because of that. Now he's had this planning permission going through. He's bought the land literally only a decade ago. So now he's got it through. He can build them, but he can't get onto the land. Bit crazy, but there you go. So keep your eyes open for that. On that as well, there's, if you people are interested on latest developments and even it's quite interesting, even neighbours, to see if they're building a garage or something like that. In my area, go on the south, and they'll be often up there, won't you? Go on the South Planning Office site. You can go on there. You can put a postcode in. You can get as much information as possible. And if you want to, you can actually register them and log on, and you can actually read comments and even add comments as well. So, well, just to give you an idea, so this is a couple I've picked off this week. In Bamber Bridge, I don't know why Bamber Bridge is the centre of attention today. But
land available?
It is, yeah. Well, they're going to, it's proposed that they're going to do 2 full-sized playing football pitches out there for obviously the community to use. They're remodelling a skate park that probably hasn't been used, and they're looking at extending the car park. This is in and around the leisure centre, which is off Brindle Road. If I'm right, it's off Brindle Road, just about. Well, in fact, it runs alongside the M6 motorway. Runs along the M6 motorway there. Another little part as well. So, give them information I'm just reading off now. Is there's erection of 2 detached dwellings and a garage. Fieldside, Old School Lane and Loster Call. So again, it's quite interesting, and you go past obviously in your car driving, you look at houses getting built, or you see some land. If you go on there, it's quite good actually. It gives you a lot of information to look at. Something to do in your past time. One little last thing I must say actually, Kevin, I was reading the other day. There's a school in Pemberton, Middleford School. The staff are trying to raise sufficient money to improve the kids' playground, and they started, because of this lockdown, to get an exercise bike and try and cycle between Preston and I think it was Paris to raise money for charity. I think they got to 522 miles or something like that. They decided to keep on going. Up to now, they've managed to raise £2,000, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is going to improve all the schools' outdoor areas, for example, including resurfing the playground and adding some other stuff on there as well for the year 1 and year 2. So something good to come out of this current climate. And there was a lot. Matthew spoke the other week, didn't he, about people raising money for the charity. So yeah, keep up the good work. But
it's good that doing that.
It's getting busier, and that's, like I say, people are building houses all the time. That's what I was reading there. It's an interesting read. So keep your eyes open yourself.
Yeah, like I say, there's lots going on there in the Preston South Ribble area, isn't there? It's a hive of activity at the moment. Really busy. And you're right, there's certainly lots of new build gone up in that area. So, around Woodplumpton and everything around there, isn't there? And just north forward.
So. Oh, what would if people in Lancaster want to look at the planning there, mine's here, it's for south of the planning, what's it called?
Lancaster City Council, it's Lancaster City Council planning applications. I think if you just put that into a search engine, it'll come up, and you can just access them with postcodes, or I think there's an interactive map, I think, and all that sort of thing. So it's quite interesting to see some of the stuff around, what's going on, which is good.
I know one guy I've known for years. I've sold some houses for him.
Yeah.
His name, I'll keep that anonymous. He scours it all the time, and he finds out if someone's got some land or whatever, and they'll apply for planning permission. Let's say they've got a piece of land next to the house, for argument's sake, which I've got. Not it's my house, but I'm selling it. Out who it is. And he goes round and knocks on the door, drops a letter off saying, "I see you've got my planning permission. Do you fancy selling the land?" So again, people are on it all the time. It is interesting, honestly. Keep your eyes peeled.
Keep your eyes peeled. No, it's good. It's a good bit of information, and it is very interesting. Yeah, it's good stuff. Cheers, Howard. I think, as mentioned earlier, I read the other day that it's in the early stages, but the government, as a way to try and recoup some of the money they're shelling out for furloughing and all these sort of things that's happened with lockdown, is looking at plans to raise capital gains tax. That won't affect everyone because it doesn't affect your residential property that you live in. But if you've got second homes, investments, all those sort of things, not just property related either, shares, all those sort of things. If you're looking at selling them, or you get rents, high rent that takes you over the capital gains threshold, then you watch out there, because you could be getting stung for tax, and certainly make sure you speak to accountants, all those sort of things, to make sure you're doing the right thing. There's your little lad in the background, Howard, giving everyone a quick wave.
There he is.
Yeah, it's good.
From school. I'd like to say he's going on to his own work, but he'll probably be on the old Xbox in a minute.
Well, just flip over to the data now. Obviously, we spoke about this every week. We just say what's going on in the market at the moment, and I've just done November this time. Recently, we've been going on and doing June. I did June to October, and we were looking at the information over that length of time. But I just wanted to separate it now for November, because obviously we've gone into another lockdown. So, wanted to make sure we sort of knew what was happening during this period, and just to sort of try and see if what we were saying before, that it's really busy, is actually stacking up. So, figures here for November 2019 are all full month figures. So they're for the whole month of November 2019, and it's up to yesterday for the data for this month. 2020, so 12 days, so about a third of the way, just over a third of the way to it. So if I show you on here, so again, always start with Lancaster, just the way it is. So November 2019, 238 new properties came to the market in A1 to 4, and we are on 121 at the moment, so we're over halfway in just over a third a month. So we are ahead of ourselves, and the market is doing well. So it's down under 50%, but we're only 12 days in, so it's not doing too badly really. And you'd think that by the end of the month, then, if we carry on like this, it will be busier again with new properties coming to the market this November than there was last November. Now, sales, which is the one that you think might be potentially hit in the lockdown, because people might not have the confidence to buy. 184 November last year, 105 already November this year. So we are again well in advance, third of the month. That if that number continued for the rest of the month, it was going to be near 300, so it'd be well over the last year's figures on there. So Howard, on to yourselves.
Okay.
So 230 November last year, 122 so far this year. So again, over halfway already, and just over a third of the month through. So it's 47% down. Carries on all the way. Then it's going to be a busy November for everyone. Same with houses that have sold. So 159 in November 2019, 87 already in 2020. So again, as we've been saying, the numbers are down, but we're not even halfway through the month, and yet we're already over halfway to November's 19's figures. So it's looking good. As we were saying, lockdown isn't quite the same as what it was last time. Confidence is still
more or less mirrored there, aren't they? To be fair, I mean,
Lancaster and Preston, yeah.
I mean, but for once, Preston are winning on the property sold. Only by only about 2%. But no, it's amazing. So it's actually mirrored, more or less the same, isn't it?
More or less the same. But the key to that is that we're only a third of the way through the month, really, up to the data. We're not quite halfway there, and yet we're well over halfway to last year's figures.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's only the 13th today. It's 31, isn't it?
30.
31 days this month.
30 this month. Yeah. That includes Sunday. It doesn't include days like Friday. We've got quite a few launching today, for instance. So the figures. November is going to be another great month from the looks of it. Another record month, probably. I would imagine it'll be better than any November.
Yeah, I've got 3 going on today as well.
Yeah, if it carries on like that as well. So it's a great time to sell. It's a great time to let your property. Those figures aren't for lettings, but there just isn't anything available for let, so things are going straight away. And this demand is driving prices. I think you said before you agreed one this morning at asking price again. So asking prices are getting achieved and even going over. Whereas going back, if we say 12 months, if those figures in for November last year, I haven't looked at the data, I apologise, but we can find out. But I bet you there was probably the average negotiation was probably about 5%, 5, 6, 7, 8% down, somewhere under 10%.
Yeah.
Somewhere 5 and 10
I mean,
for the thing.
I don't know. It's debatable whether, as well, this stamp duty that people obviously the threshold's been moved for the time being. Anyway, I'm just thinking of that house that I agreed last night. Did that have an impact? I don't know if it was that much of an impact, rather than the fact that there's not as many properties going on the market. I think that was the key thing. I think it was the fact that there's not that much going on the market.
Well, it's demand. The supply is not as much. There's not as much supply. So there's not as many properties sitting on the market at the moment because, as we said in last week's live stream, when we were looking at the figures for those for June to October, sales were about 40% up year on year, whereas new properties coming to the market were exactly the same year on year in Lancaster and 20% down almost in Preston. So your available stock for people to actually look round and try and buy is massively down. So you're right, properties aren't there for people to buy, so they're buying, snapping them up, asking prices, paying more because that's what you have to do to get the right property for you.
Yesterday evening I had 3 phone calls to make. One was an enjoyable phone call. The other 2 wasn't so enjoyable because you're telling people, unfortunately, that that they haven't been successful in getting their offer accepted. And one of the feedbacks I got from one particular person was the fact it was a devastation that they'd lost it because of the property, but it was more of a devastation that she actually said, the lady said to me, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? We're getting pushed by their buyers. What am I going to do? There's nothing else out there that I can buy. So again, it is a fantastic opportunity, in all honesty. That's not what we're on here to push or anything, but it's a fantastic opportunity. If you're thinking of selling and you think, it's an opportunity to actually get a blooming good offer on your house now.
Yeah.
I know you've got to, if you're selling, you've normally got to buy on as well, so you could be hand in hand. But all in all, it is a good time.
Yeah, well, what I will say based on that is we hear quite a lot, don't we, that people want to find something before they sell their house or put their house on the market. We hear that quite often. Unfortunately, at the moment, by the time you get your house on the market, the chances are the one you want is sold. So it is a bit of a give and take at the moment. You sort of have to get your house on the market because chances are yours will sell pretty quick anyway. But to take that gamble with it not being on the market for one that you really like, that's a big gamble at the moment. The way things are going.
It's the wrong way. To be honest, even in the normal market, I'm always an advocate of telling people that, because people say it's catch-22.
Yeah.
But if you wait for your property to come on the market, and that's the one you want, there'll be someone else wanting that house as well. So, which probably means, in all honesty, so people listening out here think about that. You probably have to, in order to put you in the best position, you're probably going to have to put your house on a lesser price.
Yeah.
To sell over now. I know they're selling fast anyway, but in order so you don't miss out on that, because you can bet your bottom dollar, like that phrase, bet your bottom dollar that there'll be more than one person wanting that house that comes on the market.
Yep, there will.
So you're going to have to put yours on at a lesser price to encourage people to come and have a look at it and to snap it up to put you in that position. So it's a long way around that. Even in the normal market, Kevin, I've always said that.
Yeah.
If you're thinking of moving, put it on the market. The fact is, and I always say, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I know it's corny saying that, but it is. If you put your house on the market, if you're meant to move, the house that you're going to move to will come on the market, and quite often that's the case, and over the years, many years of discussing this with potential vendors, that is what happens. Yeah. And people actually say to me, you're right, I've just seen one on the market. Because, people look at houses, they look, when you're on the market as well, you're in the market. So you're not just on the market, you're in the market. It makes a massive difference. Anyway, sorry to take over from you.
No, you're all right, mate. You're all right. No.
Over to you.
Yeah, no, well, I was just going to... an example of it is, in my own experiences, I sold mine and I didn't find a house to buy for about a month after I'd sold. I took the gamble, the hope that something would come on. It didn't, but I just pushed my sale through and got it through and didn't hold anything up with it. But it's one of the things I ask as well. So when I talk to someone and I register someone and they want to go and view a house or they want to register with me for any potential ones to come on the market, and when I ask them what position they're in and they say they're sold, one of the key things that I ask, key questions is how long have you been sale agreed for? And if it's anything from 2 to 4 to 5 weeks in this market, it's probably quite normal that. But I have heard it where people have sold me over years before, where people said, and it's probably now coming up for a 10th or 11th week. Sometimes those people, I don't think they'll ever. I can't record. I have to give you evidence. I don't think they'll ever move, because when they're looking for something in the house, they're looking for the perfect thing. And I say to someone, give me 5 points what you want in the house. What's on your wish list? Give me 5. Yeah. In all honesty, if you get 2 or 3 or 3 of them, you've probably got the right house. Well, I'm exactly the same. I've not spoken to you about this, but I'm the same. Give me 5 things, and if you can get 3 of them, you've done well.
Yeah. That's right, yeah.
I
think that's also managing that person's expectancy. Is that right word?
Yeah.
But also trying to help people as well. So you've got to be what's that word? Happy medium. You've got to have what's that word I'm trying to think of, where you take one with the other.
Rough and smooth.
Something like that will do for now. I can't remember what the word it is. It'll come to me afterwards. Yeah. I'll text you.
Yeah. All right, mate. Thank you.
Anyway, it's been a good conversation tonight. Looking forward to having Matthew back next Friday.
Yeah. So Matthew will be joining us.
Spoils.
We'll be another week in, or another week towards the end of current restrictions. I'm not going to call it the L word, but restrictions.
Restrictions. Yeah.
But as we've said, it's going really well. The market is great. If you're in the market, as you said, the market is good. Everyone should be confident with that. We can still do everything we could back before all these restrictions. Don't think that we can't. We try and do things differently. We can talk about that with virtual viewings and 360s, but no, it is good, and we're fully open, fully available, fully here to help and talk if you need it. But yeah,
that's about it.
That's about it. So have a nice Friday the 13th. it's all Freddy Krueger and all that sort of thing now, isn't it? Nightmare on Elm Street. That's what you used to watch on Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th, Halloween, Damon.
Halloween, yeah. So yeah, I'll go get myself ready for that tonight. But yeah, thank you for joining us. So we'll be back again next Friday with Matthew. If you've got any questions in the meantime, please drop a comment on the video, send us an email, send us a message, whatever, and we'll endeavour to get those answered for you. But yeah, thank you very much.